Welcome guys to another video on my channel, The Wisdom of Intuition. In today's video, we will be taking a look at what amazing progress you are making. Whether you're actively doing something to improve yourself or you're just doing your everyday normal stuff, something is definitely changing for the better, and we will find out what exactly. You can choose from 3 different piles, which are pile 1, the yellow owl, and the card, the victim. Pile 2, red owl, and the card, warrior. And last but not least, the blue owl, with the card, advocate. If you guys need more time to choose your pile, you can always pause the video, and if you already know which one is for you, I'll see you there. Welcome pile 1 to your reading. You have chosen the yellow owl and the victim card, and we will talk about the owl separately and the card separately, but let me first start with the card. Since we have the victim here, what I'm getting for you, pile 1, is that you're finally taking responsibility in your life. You're finally doing the decisions that were hard to make for you for some time. You are trying to be more accountable. You're trying to see more perspectives on a certain situation so that you can know what's the best outcome that can be gained from that particular situation, so that you can approach it in a way that benefits you and that will get you to a better state in your life. If you felt powerless, if you felt like nobody understands you, like you can never improve, like you can never get better, those times are over, pile 1. You're somebody who is finally moving ahead, who is picking themselves up, and who is really trying to change for the better. I don't think this is happening by chance in your life, pile 1, not at all. I actually think that this is very well thought out on your behalf, and you're putting in conscious effort in order to improve your current circumstances. And I bet that it shows already, pile 1. I bet that you already have better results, that you already feel better about yourself because you decided to stop feeling like a victim and started doing what's within your power, what's within your reach. And I feel like things are already improving. You already feel like people are looking at you differently and like you have more options to choose from. This is what I get from the card, but we will get more detail when we start pulling the tarot cards. But I do want to talk about the yellow owl here, why you chose, or better said, why I chose the yellow owl for this group. I always choose the pieces that represent each group intuitively. So I don't know why I chose them before I start the reading. I get downloads once I get into the reading and connect with the group energy. And what I get here is definitely your third chakra, your Manipura chakra is changing, is getting into balance. And it does have a connotation with the victim card here in a way that you are finally ready to act. You're ready to move, to do something about your situation, to stop feeling sorry for yourself, to stop blaming everybody else. And regardless of everything, you are ready to move on, to do something so that you don't stay stuck, which is amazing, pile 1. This is what I wanted to say. This is what makes people successful in the long run. They recognize what's within their power of influence and they do the necessary steps in order to change. Now let's jump right into the reading to get more information, to have more depth about what amazing progress you are making. We have the Ace of Scrolls, which is the Ace of Swords in the traditional tarot. And the card says on track. What else? What amazing progress are you making, pile one? We have the King of Keys, which is the King of Pentacles. And we'll take one more. We have the Seven of Scrolls, which is the Seven of Swords, intricacies and industry. So, like I said in the beginning of the reading, I feel like you decided to change something. And this is what I get with the Ace of Scrolls. It's like you stopped waiting for the train. Let's use the metaphor. You stopped waiting for the train and actually started boarding the train. So instead of just waiting, you are actively participating. And this is what I get with the owl as well. You changed your behavior in some way. You started acting differently, and now you are having different results because of it. And with the King of Keys here, I see that you are heading towards something very valuable, something enormous in your life. And I feel like for the first time you think and feel that it is reachable, that it is something that you are worthy of, and that it's meant to be yours if you put enough time and effort into it. If you work hard enough for it, you can achieve it. This is what you feel. And I think that this mindset is a new thing for you, pile one. I think that previously you had more of this victim mentality, and you had a bit of a feeling of unworthiness, like something is beyond your reach, like you are not deserving of this. And no matter what you do, it's always going to be unattainable for you. And this has changed, pile one. And kudos to you, pile one, because that is not an easy thing to change. And I feel like you are definitely on track. You're on the right path towards this goal. And even though it will require a lot of work, a lot of effort, I think that your reward will come sooner or later. It's a sure thing here. And it's all because of your decision to move towards it, because you feel now that you are worthy of it. Let's pull some more cards to see what's important for you to know, pile one, about this progress you're making. Maybe something can be improved even more, or maybe just a piece of information that you need to hear right now about your progress. What do we need to know, pile one? We have the Archangel Gabriel. Beautiful. And we have the Two of Keys, the Treasure. So if some of you are working with angels, or you turn to angels as your guides, I feel like Archangel Gabriel will have an important message for you. So I would advise you to do your little ritual or connect to Archangel Gabriel in order to get some guidance or get some lessons that you need to become aware of at this particular time. For those of you who do not resonate with talking to your angels or using them as guides, I definitely feel like something big will be revealed to you. Something, I would say, bigger than life. That's how big I see this is. It's a piece of information that was in a way hidden from you for some time. Not hidden like purposely, like somebody is hiding something from you, even though that might resonate for a small minority here in pile one. But I feel like it's like you couldn't see this because you were in a victim mentality. And now that you're out of it, you're going to see a whole different world emerging in front of your eyes. A whole different system, the way that things function, the way that people interact with each other that was not previously available for you to see. And with the Two of Keys here, I feel like it will be very necessary for you to really weigh out what is important for you. You know that saying, one man's garbage is another man's treasure, or something along that lines? If I'm not getting it correctly, doesn't matter. The key thing is here, you have to be aware of what is truly important for you, because other people might say that you should value one thing, but if it doesn't give you the feeling of worthiness, and if it doesn't bring value to your life, maybe that is something that you need to pass on. Same goes in the other way. If somebody says you're doing this and it's not valuable, it's not something that's worth giving your time and money into, maybe those people value things differently than you do, Pile One, and you shouldn't listen to them. So weighing out what's truly important for you will be very important for your next steps, because you might get confused at some point whether the things you are doing are correct and whether you should be doing something else because somebody else says this is better. Think it through, Pile One, because like I said, we value things differently. They have different meaning to us. And if you are clear on what is important to you, you won't make a mistake. Okay, let's see what can be helpful. What can be helpful on your journey towards the goal here, the thing you are trying to work out. What will be the end goal of your progress, or whatever wants to come out for you, Pile One. We have the Eight of Forces, which is the Eight of Wands, the lightning bolt. And it's so interesting that the lightning is hitting this tree. And I feel like this tree is the tree of knowledge. It's like you will have a certain breakthrough, a certain insight, let's call it that. And I see this reflection in the water, which really draws in my focus here. I feel like a lot of you from Pile One will have to let go of the past, but in a way that you finally recognize that you no longer have any connection to the version of you who you were before. And that can sometimes mean that you will change people who are around you as well. That sometimes can mean that you will change your surroundings. Maybe you will change the city you live in. Maybe you will change your occupation. I see a lot of movement forward with the Eight of Wands, but what's most striking here, pun intended, with the lightning bolt, I feel like it's going to come so sudden for you that you couldn't see it coming. It's going to be like you will wake up one morning and then you will just decide to change everything in your life from the roots. It's going to be that quick, that sudden. It's like something hit your life and turned it around 180 degrees. And I feel if that happens, then you should just allow that change to happen, because it came from higher intelligence. It came as an intervention, as help for you to be able to change things around for the better. Okay, Pile One, let's pull some cards for advice. Let's see what you need to hear as advice, as guidance about the progress you are making. Beautiful. Overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything. And this is where you are currently shining the best and the most, because you overcome a certain block, a certain obstacle that took you out of the victim mentality into here, where you actually believe that things are attainable for you. And now I feel like you need to take the same approach and the same mindset when it comes to other things in your life. This is, in a way, a principle that can be applied to any area of your life, to any situation. And if you are clever and smart enough to use that principle every single time that you need it, you will definitely overcome the obstacles that are put on your way. And as the card says, pile one, you can overcome anything. Now let's pull one more. We have great adventure. Take a risk, venture forward. Yes. So definitely there will be great changes coming for you, pile one. And they're going to seem a bit risky. They're going to seem huge. They're going to seem overwhelming at times, perhaps. But I feel like you are definitely supported to go through that change and to do it so sudden. I think that waiting and procrastinating will only make things heavier. So in a way, this is a better approach for this situation you're in. And I feel like you just need to go with the flow. If things are calling for you to change them, do so. Do not question too much whether it's the right time, whether you have the resources. If you're called to it, just do it. My dear pile one, this was your reading. I hope it helped. And I want to congratulate you on the beautiful progress you are making. Keep up the good work and bravely tread ahead. Until next time, bye. Welcome pile 2 to your reading. You have chosen this red owl and the card warrior, which right off the bat tells me, pile 2, that your amazing progress has to do with self-discipline and the power of will. And the thing that I'm getting instantly is either some of you had a weight problem and then you managed to take care of it, to control it with the power of your will, with disciplined approach. Or maybe you had trouble studying and then you took certain steps in order to stay focused and stay dedicated to your studies. Or you had to do something that you were really procrastinating, and at some point you said, it's enough, and now I gotta do this. And then you used every single inch of willpower that you possess within you to be able to do the necessary work. This can also be that you finally found the courage and the strength within you to set certain boundaries, to tell certain people no. And it took a lot of guts, pile 2. That's what I can tell you. It took a lot of guts in order for you to be able to do that, because you felt like you need to sacrifice something for your own well-being, and it is not a fair trade in your mind. Regardless of all of that, I feel like you guys have conquered your ego, like your lower desires, and you strived for those higher desires, for that long-term satisfaction rather than short-term satisfactions. If I could give you an example, it would be if you are craving some sweet food, you would not take some chocolates. You would take something like fruit, or maybe raisins, or something that is a bit more healthier for you, that has a bit less calories, or maybe just nutritively is a better fit for you. So congratulations, pile 2, because your determination and your power of will basically make you unstoppable if you apply the same principle to every other aspect of your life. We'll put the card warrior to the side so that we can pull more cards to get more insight on what amazing progress you are making, pile 2. So let's see. What is the amazing progress you are making? What amazing progress are you making, pile 2? Okay, we have 2 that just want to come out together, and I'll take them. We have 4 of keys, clearing the way. This is the 4 of pentacles. We have 5 of keys, wishes fulfilled, which is the 5 of pentacles. And it's so interesting that in this deck, 5 of keys, or rather said 5 of pentacles, means wishes fulfilled, whereas in the traditional tarot, the 5 of pentacles always means some type of loss. That's very interesting to notice here. Let's see what else. What amazing progress are you making, pile 2? We have the 5 of forces, which is the 5 of wands, and we have summer and winter. Okay. So definitely there has been a lot of changes going on within your life with the 2 5s here that I'm getting. And I feel like you have overcome a certain obstacle that was really weighing you down. It's like this timber here, you know, it was so heavy that you couldn't move it alone. It's like you had some type of help, which is totally fine, pile 2. We always, when we need help, we should ask for it. We cannot always do things by ourselves. Sometimes we can, but sometimes we just cannot. And if you needed help for this clearing, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't diminish the power of your will or your determination. It doesn't really. And if that isn't the case, if you didn't need the help, I definitely feel like it took you a while before you figured out the proper way to move this timber out of the way. And you stayed here for a while. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of effort. But I feel like you have finally got to a point where you have fulfilled your wish. Either that is to kick off a habit, either that is get to a certain goal that you were currently procrastinating, or whatever this is. I feel like with all of the work that you've put in, you have finally gotten to a place where you always wished you would be. And now what I see for you with the 5 of forces here is that you are not really sure whether this can be sustainable. That is something that is troubling you a bit. Whether this is something that will last a long time, or it's going to be just a phase, just a cycle that you're currently in that can turn the other way as soon as you blink. Even though you made amazing progress, there's still a part of you that doesn't truly believe that this can be long lasting, that it's going to be something that you can have in the long run. And I feel this will be a challenge for you in the future, how to keep this change and how to have your goals fulfilled in a sustainable way, how to have your life in proper order so that you don't dread the fact that something might disrupt the new balance that you have found here. This is the tricky part with you, pile 2, because even though you had a lot of determination, a lot of will to get to here, it's like you're doubting yourself that you will be able to do it once more if something happens and you get back to your old ways. It's like you are afraid to lose what you have attained because you're not sure whether you will have the strength to go through this again. And it's completely reasonable to have that fear, but I think that it's more to do with, do you feel like this change you have made is something that you can sustain for the long run? Will it be effective? Will it be something that is imbalanced for you? Or is it something that you pulled off once, but for the longest possible time you feel like you're not going to be able to sustain it? And if that is the case, then definitely something needs to change. But let's see what you need to know about it. What can you do about this sustainability that's a problem for you here, pile 2? What do we need to know about this topic? Okay, we have a jumper. We have the 6 of forces, the waterfall, which is the 6 of wands. And I just remember I actually did a reading earlier today on my creation channel. This card came out, and I don't know why I said the 6 of cups. I guess I read it intuitively, but for you it's definitely the 6 of forces. I'm getting this as the 6 of wands, the waterfall. And what else? What do you need to know about the sustainability that's troubling you here, pile 2? The Queen of Forces, which is the Queen of Swords. Interesting. I found this like, it's very interesting to look at, that you have come all this way and you still doubt yourself. That's what's interesting to me here. You're still doubting yourself, even though you've managed the impossible here. You're still doubting yourself and your capabilities here. And I feel like you've had someone in your life who's very strict with you, probably your mother or grandmother, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe it's a mentor, somebody who you look up to, who you want to learn from. And somebody was probably very strict with you, and nothing you did was ever enough for this person. Whatever progress you would make, it was never good enough. And this is why I feel like you have a problem with this. It's like you feel it's never going to be good enough. No matter how hard I try, no matter how hard I do, no matter how well I progress on my path, it's never going to be enough. And I feel like this is your thing to work on your relationship with this person, how you perceive this person and how you perceive yourself because of your relationship with this person. I feel like you are doing a lot of things in your life because you want to feel like you are good enough. Like you want a confirmation from either this person or maybe a group of people that you are good enough. And this may have been the first thing that you did for yourself, for your own well-being. But regardless, you still feel like it's not going to be enough. Like this person will have something to say about it. And I feel the next phase of your progress will have to deal with this person. It will have to be, what are we, sorry, this is the Queen of Wands. I don't know if I said the Queen of Swords, but I meant like you will have to, it's like you will have to prove yourself to this person, and you shouldn't. Because this person seems to have it all. This person seems to be like gifted from the skies. She had everything going on for her. And you compare yourself, or this person compares you to herself. And you always fall short. Not because you truly fall short, because this person thinks you fall short, or you feel you always fall short. But the truth is something else, something completely, entirely different. And I feel you need to take care of your relationship, of your perception of this person, because it's messing you up. And all the good progress you are making here will be in vain eventually, because you're not free from the thoughts and the opinion of this person. That's where you need to work on next. And let's see what else can be done here, especially about this person. What can you do to feel worthy enough to not care about what this person thinks and to progress even further on your journey, pile 2? What can be done about it? We have the Queen of Keys, absolutely perfect card to come out for you, pal, too. Because the Queen of Keys is the Queen of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. And the Queen of Pentacles is my card for self-worth, for knowing your value, to value yourself, who you truly are, with all of your strengths and weaknesses, to truly embody who you are without prejudice, without shame, without apologies, to just unapologetically be yourself, because there's no one else like you in the world, pal, too. Because you are unique. There may be people who are similar to you, but not the same as you. And I feel once you feel worthy, once you feel valuable, this person will no longer have any power over you. Let's pull some cards for advice, pal, too. Let's see what you need to hear as guidance, some wise words to consider and to ponder on. Navigating by the stars. Yes, follow your bliss. How will you know that something is truly right for you, that something is truly making you happy? Follow your bliss. Follow that feeling of fulfillment, of utter joy that cannot be replaced by anything else. That's how you will know whether you're doing is truly rewarding your soul. Because this is your soul's reward. This is what you need. You don't need the reward from this person. You need your soul to feel rewarded. And your soul needs bliss. And let's take one more. Desert Passage. Trust there's a divine plan. Yes. So I need to say this, pile, too, because for some of you, this scenario might happen. You might end up going back to your old ways. Some of you might. And like we talked about earlier, you might be afraid of that. You will not have enough strength to go through this situation again. But even if that happens, even if you fall back to your old ways, trust that there is a plan, that there's a higher purpose why that is happening. And that experience will not be given to you in vain. If you need to go through the same process all over again, you will go through it, and you will have all the necessary resources that you need in order to overcome this. So whether you feel like you can do this again or not, if by any means it happens again, you will have the necessary tools and resources to go through it again. So do not worry. My dear pal, too, this was your reading. I hope it resonated. I hope it helped. And I hope that I see you in the next one. Bye. Welcome, pile 3. You have chosen this blue owl and the card Advocate, which will tell us what is the amazing progress you guys are making. And what I'm getting from this card is that you have found a way to be more compassionate, to feel less angry. And most of all, I feel like you have gotten certain insights on why people act a certain way, why you act a certain way, and that acceptance has made such a tremendous change in your life that you are now able to form more harmonious relationships with people. I feel like a lot of you have changed your ways. You may have become someone who is aware of other people's suffering. Maybe you started caring for the environment a bit more. Maybe you started helping in a charity or in some type of organization, but you are definitely focused on improving the world in some way. And if that is not the case with you, pal 3, then definitely You're forming better relationships with people. You have more understanding, more compassion, and you listen to people more. You are really trying to understand where they're coming from. And this makes such a difference. We'll put this card to the side and we'll pull some tarot cards to get more information on the amazing progress you are making, pile 3. So what is the amazing progress you guys are making? Let's see. We have the 7 of Scrolls, which is the 7 of Swords, intricacies and industry. We have the Muse. And we have Uriel and the Sphinx. Wow, what a card. Yes, so definitely a certain mystery of life has been revealed to you. And I'm definitely hearing and seeing that it is the way that people function, the way that people talk to each other, why they do that particularly, how they act, why they act in a certain way, and what you can do on your behalf in order to make your relationships harmonious. I feel like it took you a long time before you were able to stop feeling anger and stop feeling resentment to other people. It took you a while to get to a place where you are now. And I feel like you've had an inspiration. You've probably seen a person who is a master at communication or is just masterful in the way that they deal with people. Or maybe you've seen a spiritual teacher that really inspired you to change your ways. There was definitely a heavy influence here on you that made you ask yourself the difficult questions that reveal to you the mysteries of the human behavior. And I feel the more you found out about it, the less anger and resentment you felt, and more compassion found a way to get into your heart and to really understand why people are doing the things that they do and give them acceptance regardless of what they're doing. And I know this may be like a general thing, but let's put it down to a certain example that keeps coming up for me, coming up to me for whatever reason. What I'm getting is like a lot of you have started dealing with the environment, how to better our surroundings. Maybe you started picking up trash, maybe you started sorting your trash in different containers. Maybe you guys started working on purification of water or air or something. You're trying to contribute, and I feel like you were angry at other people for not doing the same. But the more that you've learned about human behavior, it's like it became apparent to you that people are doing their best because they're not in a place to care about the things that you see. And it's like you understand that they're at their max level that they can be at the moment, and that you don't have to expect from them to do anything about the situation, and that the only thing that you can actually do is that you start doing the things you feel are necessary yourself, so that maybe one day you can be an inspiration to other people so that they start doing it the same that you are doing it. So in a way, somebody inspired you by their example to be in this situation where you're currently at. And it's like you understand that you need to be a role model. You need to be an inspiration for other people to become aware of what is necessary. Whereas before, you may tell people and ask of them to do something, and it has never worked. It never motivated people to do anything. And it's like you understand now that people are motivated when they see a good example of where they want to be. And it's like you are trying to embody that inspiration for somebody else in the future, which is actually very admirable, Pile 3. Let's see what else we need to know about this. How can you become this muse to other people, this inspiration? How can you become that person? We have the Ark of the Covenant. Interesting card for you to get, Pile 3. And the Five of Forces, summer and winter. I think like this is the card of the day today because I've pulled it in all of my readings. I think I pulled it like 10 times already today. And for some reason, it keeps coming up. And you have it as well, Pile 3. Now anyways, so I feel like you are sitting on a very valuable knowledge, a valuable information that a lot of people would like to have, but take advantage of it. And this is why I feel like you need to guard this. I don't think that you should start talking to everybody about it, because I feel people might get the wrong impression and might take it against you. But definitely I feel like you need to express in a certain way the things that you know. And maybe through certain examples, you can share that knowledge without actually telling people what they should do. Because the summer and the winter here tells me that people are going to see you very plastic, very black and white. They are not going to be able to see the nuances in you. And it's very important for you not to come off as somebody who is like very extreme. There is a need for a balanced approach in your messaging, because people will either completely agree with you or they will completely reject your notions. And you need to find a better way to share your information that is more nuanced, that is more acceptable, and that it doesn't feel like it's an attack or blaming somebody, in order for you to get people involved within your cause. I feel like this is very important and that you need to work on this in order to better everything around yourself and get more people involved. Let's pull one more to see why is this information so valuable, and why would people and how would they actually use it in a bad way. I want to understand this more. Why would they use it in a bad way, and how? We have the Ace of Scrolls on track. So I definitely feel it's not something that they can misinterpret, like take it out of context. But I feel like they can present different solutions that might not lead to the same outcome that you are trying to achieve. It's like a piece of information can be used to achieve a prosperous goal as well as destructive goal. And this is what I feel is your situation. Your information can be used for a constructive goal which you are trying to achieve. And other people might use it for something destructive, something that is not useful. And this is why you need to be very careful on how you present things, because you will need more and more people to come aboard with this in order for this to truly see the light of day and not to be used in the wrong way. Pile 3. Okay, let's pull some advice for you, Pile 3. What would be the advice for your situation, for your progress you are making? Wandering path, enjoy the journey. Yes. So sometimes this type of agendas that we have, that we want to achieve, can become frustrating because we see how far away from the goal we are and how people are not really being perceptive to what we're trying to show them. And instead of slipping back to resentment and anger, maybe try enjoying the journey, try enjoying the experience that you are having, to be able to be a person who has come so far and who is actually doing some improvements for your surroundings, for your environment. And regardless of how many people join your cause or understand what you're trying to achieve, regardless of the number of those people, still be grateful enough that you got the chance to actually do something about it. And let's pull one more for you, pile 3. We have discovering truth. You stand in the light of truth. So, like I see here, I see the person who is going one way, and I see 2 people going the other way, and they're not really noticing the person going in the other direction. They're just contemplating unknown paths. And this is why I said, like, you need a more nuanced approach. Because if you don't get these people involved, if they reject your ideas immediately, you will not be able to show the world that there is a third way, that there is a new path, a better path for all of us. I don't know why I'm talking in these terms, but I feel like it's something very important. Like, you can change the way that a whole collective is approaching certain things, like the environment, for example. That's the vibes I'm getting from you, pile 3, to be honest. And if the collective, the majority of people are not even open to hearing you out because of the way you are approaching the topic, very authoritative and in a way judgmental, then you're not going to get more followers, more supporters. And this is how you can stand in the light of truth. Because we can do things in a lot of different ways. Some are more beneficial, some are less beneficial for us. And I feel like you need to find a way that can get people involved and interested in what you have to say and get them aboard. My dear pile 3, this was your reading. I hope it resonated, and I do hope that I will see you in the next reading. Bye.